of these celebrities at Diddy's freak-off parties?
Did you ever go to a Diddy party?
Yes.
What was it like?
A Diddy party?
Is it like what they have in the media or
off the hook?
Rihanna, did you attend any of P. Diddy's parties? Were you involved in any of the freak-offs?
A-list celebrities linked to Diddy and his alleged sexual assaults are trying to keep their identities private.
Diddy's celebrity friends who participated in his freak-offs are freaking out at the moment after it was revealed that they had to pay their victims or risk getting exposed. However, it seems like not all these celebrities are happy to pay up, with one reportedly suing the lawyer representing the alleged victims, saying that they are using Diddy's freak-offs to extort him. Y'all, this whole story is completely insane. So join me today as we look into why A-listers who attended Diddy's freak-offs are ready to turn their backs on Diddy. By now, it's common knowledge that Diddy's alleged freak-offs were full of A-list celebrities who were up to very questionable and allegedly very illegal things. From drugs to some extremely inappropriate behaviors, these famous people did everything. However, despite all of that, Diddy seems to be taking the fall for his crimes alone so far, despite there being rumored evidence of very well-known people who took part in Diddy's alleged crimes. Now, the reason why it seems like Diddy is going down alone is partly because these A-listers have been reportedly going to extreme lengths to ensure their names don't get mentioned alongside Diddy. Now, while they are busy trying to protect themselves, justice isn't getting served to the many people who fell victim to their inappropriate behavior for all those years. Well, that's where lawyer Tony Busby comes into the picture. Busby, who is representing over 120 alleged victims of these celebrities, basically came into the picture and issued a warning to these A-listers. If they wanted their names not to be made public, all they had to do was compensate their victims. And when this news broke a couple of weeks back, it seemed that many A-listers were more than willing to pay up to make all of this go away. In a statement to the Daily Mail, Tony said, "In every single case, especially cases like this, because it's in the best interests of the victim, we attempt to resolve these matters without the filing of a public lawsuit, and we've done that already with a handful of individuals, many of which you've heard of before."
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they're not true. And very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating.
However, it seems like some of the A-listers thought that Tony was bluffing. So it came as a shock to them after Tony Busby started sending out demand letters to every A-lister who was on his list. According to the Economic Times, the A-listers were strongly urged to pay up, or they would face lawsuit, and we all know how damaging that could be for their images. Now, Mr. Busby didn't stop there. Apparently, he wasn't only targeting the people who participated in illegal activities at Diddy's parties, but also those who didn't. Y'all, the for Mr. Busby was simple. If you were celebrity at a Diddy party to him, it didn't matter what you did or didn't allegedly do. If you were there, you had to pay up. Now, this raised some eyebrows on the internet after it got out, but Mr. Busby was quick to control the narrative, and he said that these type of demand letters were common practice, and they are used to outline the situation and encourage dialogue. However, Mr. Busby said that failure to respond, he was completely willing to escalate the matter to a full-on lawsuit if that became necessary. But here is where things start getting messy. According to Mr. Busby, some of the celebrities started scrubbing their social media of any sort linked to Diddy after receiving their demand letters. But it seems like not every celebrity who is on Mr. Busby's list is willing to cooperate, with one of them reportedly willing to go down fighting. It seems that one celebrity in particular felt that Mr. Busby was overstepping and instead decided to file a lawsuit against Mr. Busby and basically accused Busby for trying to extort him. Y'all, the celebrity who remains anonymous filed a lawsuit under the name John Doe and basically accused Mr. Busby of trying to get a huge payday out of this whole situation. According to this anonymous celeb, Mr. Busby was shamelessly attempting to extort him out of large sums of money by threatening him with litigation based on completely false and fabricated and malicious accusations of assault. Apparently, Mr. Busby was aiming to get a private settlement by accusing the anonymous celebrity of young people at Diddy's parties and then proceeding to commit the R-word. The celeb further added that Mr. Busby threatened to take different courses of action if he didn't pay up, like filing more lawsuits, making his name public and even going as far as to report him to the FBI. Now Mr. Busby came out and said that he wasn't going to allow himself and the alleged victims to be silenced. In a statement to the Mirror, he said, "We won't allow the powerful and their high-dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence sexual survivors." Tony Busby decided he isn't holding back after being hit with the lawsuit, calling it laughable and totally without merit. He claims his actions were nothing out of the ordinary, just your typical demand letter sent to the high-profile John Doe's lawyer asking for confidential mediation instead of going straight to court. And get this, he claims that he didn't ask for money or make any sort of demands. Busby said the lawsuit was just an attempt to tarnish his reputation. He even brought up being a U.S. Marine, saying, "I won't be silenced or intimidated, neither will my clients." He's doubling down, promising to release the letters publicly now that private resolution has failed. According to him, sunlight is the best disinfectant, and he's confident the truth will clear things up. But wait, here's the juicy part. In a chat with Harvey Levin, Busby spilled that, yes, his team has approached high-profile cases connected to the Diddy scandal and settled them quietly when it was in the best interest of the victims. It's all part of his strategy to avoid dragging things out in public unless absolutely necessary. This guy is not playing around, and he's making sure everyone knows he's here to fight. Y'all, this is far from the first time a celebrity's name has been mentioned or linked to a Diddy party. The New York Post managed to get their hands on footage of a Diddy party a while back. Apparently, these freak-off parties that the Post saw happened at the height of Diddy's career, and they used to be after some major A-list event when Diddy wanted to have fun. One of the videos the Post got to see was from the early morning hours of August 29th, 2005. It was a Diddy after party from the MTV VMAs, and it was going strong. The likes of Paris Hilton, Fergie, Ice-T, and Eva Longoria were all spotted at the party. However, the Post noted that none of these celebs knew what was about to go down, and they all started leaving one by one. Not long after, the party was moved from Space Nightclub to Diddy's Miami mansion, where things went wild pretty fast. By this time, all the major celebs had left, and in their place were fit young men and women, and clothing was optional at this point. Y'all, it's reported that Diddy was taking charge of this event, overseeing everything from the background while he was wearing a white t-shirt written, "God is the greatest," the same t-shirt he had on at the after party, and from then the clips just got freakier and lewd as the night went on. Y'all, here is where things get insane. In one of the clips the Post reviewed, Diddy could be seen engaging in activities with a young male A-list star. The star was reportedly much younger than Diddy. Now this clip is getting shopped around for sale to multiple outlets. Now the name of the A-list star is still being kept confidential because it's unclear as of now whether the star willingly participated or was forced. Some are even reporting that said star didn't even know he was getting recorded. Now this whole has reportedly freaked out the A-list star, who according to two members of his inner circle, he is freaking out because the entire thing is bringing back some horrible and unwanted memories. Okay, so this is wild. According to an officer from Homeland Security who was part of a raid on Diddy's mansion, there's evidence suggesting Diddy allegedly had rooms in his house rigged with hidden cameras. And get this, he's believed to have filmed a lot of incriminating footage featuring some very recognizable names. The officer hinted at the tapes containing footage of well-known figures, but declined to reveal any specific identities. The mystery surrounding these tapes is insane, and fans are dying to know who might be on them. Now reportedly, one of Diddy's biggest star-studded freak-offs took place after Super Bowl 39 in 2005. Diddy threw a massive star-studded bash at a $200K a week mansion. Celebs like Ashton Kutcher and Ashley Simpson were spotted partying it up, but things allegedly took a dark turn during the infamous freak-off portion of the event. Witnesses claim Diddy was seen engaging in some seriously disturbing behavior. And here's where it gets really dark. According to a statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office, many attendees were allegedly forced to participate in these events against their will. Women were reportedly threatened with violence if they refused, and these wild parties sometimes went on for days. It's seriously chilling. To ensure participation in freak-offs, Combs used violence and intimidation and leveraged his power over victims, power he obtained through obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, exploiting his financial support to them, and threatening to cut off the same and controlling their careers. Anyways, what do y'all think about this whole mess? Should the names of these celebrities be made public, or should they settle their lawsuits out of court? Let me know your opinions in the comments down below, and don't go anywhere. This Diddy story is just about to get even crazier.